DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, is in the name of tolerance and diversity, everybody should get the job. And there are certain jobs that only the people that can do the job, like if you're going to be a police officer, I don't want the 105-pound girl that when given flight, fright, or freeze chooses flight or freeze. I want the 250-pound door kicker whose grandpa was a gorilla that only does fight.
All right, our next segment is it's a very similar topic. There was a tragedy this weekend, Hanukkah attack in Australia. It was I believe a father-son duo that was shooting up for more than 20 minutes without a confrontation, just a church gathering. So let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Oh! Ça m'aide. Oh non, gros! Oh! Ouais, mais il y a son pote, il va se faire tirer dessus. Il est trop con, le mec qui a l'arme.
Very, very cool. So that guy jumped in, confronted him, stopped this incident, took the gun. Probably should have pulled the trigger a couple times, but he was a little more restrained than that. Yeah. He was a Muslim man. This is wild.
So the backdrop is, and I think the latest indicators are that 16 people were killed. That count could go higher. There's people that are injured. So the backdrop, it's the Jewish celebration of Hanukkah. And they're at Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia. I've been there. Bondi is a historic beach, probably the most historic beach in all of Australia, in Sydney. Years ago, when I had the honor of touring and preaching in Australia, Grace and I actually had one of our wedding anniversary dinners on Bondi Beach. And so our kids have been there as well. It's a beautiful area. And so the Jewish people are there to celebrate Hanukkah peacefully. Rolls in, to the best of the news is reporting, a father-son radicalized jihadist Muslim father-son. The New York Post reported that they were radicalized and had, at least the son had graduated from a pretty extremist training program at a mosque. And so now you're looking at jihadi Muslims. And so they show up and just start opening fire on Jewish people. This raises just innumerable issues. Number one, we are seeing a growing tide of anti-Semitism. And a friend of mine, I don't know if he's a political commentator, I don't know if he posted it online yet, so I won't say his name, but not to blame him, but just as an observation. So like Tucker Carlson this year on X has posted zero criticisms of Muslims and repeated criticisms of Jews. And it's like, well, so is the existential threat in the West coming from Jews or jihadis? Not just Muslims, but jihadis, those that are committed to violence and overtaking Western values. In addition, you're seeing on the fringe right an openness, especially among some younger far right people, just an open hatred of the Jewish people.
Yep.
Well, this is what happens when you overtly call a group of people evil, subhuman, then it becomes morally justifiable to destroy them.
Yep.
If someone is wrong, you disagree with them. If someone is evil, you have to stop them.
Yep.
And so, this is part of the growing anti-Semitism and the problem. The other issues you see here, you see the despicable evil when a father wrongly leads his son toward murder.
A father can lead their son almost anywhere.
You're a dad, I'm a dad. The thought of this being father-son is unconscionable.
The amount of hatred and bitterness in that household to get him there is wild.
This is a father-son duo. So this is unconscionable. But then this also exposes within Australia the real weakness of the government. I mean, so Australia is so woke, so progressive, so far gone culturally, it's almost hard to imagine. They don't have the freedom of speech, freedom of religion. They don't have the right to bear arms. It's not like America. It's very, very different. And so what you've got there as well, you've got the wokeness and the DEI initiatives are so great. Like, I don't know if we have it, but what's shocking is that they've taken away people's firearms. So these two guys are there. They're shooting for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and nobody returned fire.
It's wild. And the police are there.
The police are there. You can hear, for 20 minutes, you can hear the sirens. The cops are surrounding them. No one is returning fire. No one is engaging or approaching. You've got...
He doesn't have hostages or anything. He's just standing there with a gun.
He's an open target.
In America, we'd love that. I mean, we would take him down very quickly.
Somebody would return fire. A veteran would approach. I mean, and what you've got surrounding this, I don't know if we have the clip, you have multiple female officers wearing bulletproof vests that are literally standing in the open in the surrendered position, not returning fire. This is what happens. See, because DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, is in the name of tolerance and diversity, everybody should get the job. And there are certain jobs that only the people that can do the job. Like, if you're going to be a police officer, I don't want the 105-pound girl that when given flight, fright, or freeze chooses flight or freeze. I want the 250-pound door kicker whose grandpa was a gorilla that only does fight. You know, when it comes to somebody that's going to be an air traffic controller, I don't think we should give the blind guys a chance just so that we're doing diversity and it's their turn. You know, I mean, it's insanity. But this is what happens. And when you start to vilify police officers, when you start to negate rule of law, when you start to defund, devalue, disrespect, dishonor, disregard the police, when you really need them, what you get is, you know, civil patrol officers show up. I mean, this is exactly what we're going for right now in New York. Just voted for a Democratic Socialist mayor. If you want to know what it looks like freaking Sydney, Australia. This is what we just voted for in, you know, the People's Republic of Seattle, our former hometown. They just voted for a Democratic Socialist mayor that literally is going to run the playbook for Sydney, Australia. This is exactly what we're voting for in America. And what happens is evil never stops itself. And so unless there are strong, good door kicker alpha men who get between evil and women and children, then evil completely takes over. And this is exactly what it looks like. So to his credit, the guy who got involved, apparently he's also a Muslim. So the problem is not that you're a Muslim. The problem is you're a jihadi. So if you're going to come into a country, are you going to be a citizen? Are you going to carry forth the values? Are you going to respect the law? Are you an invader? Or are you coming in to, you know, assimilate into the culture? So the man who took away the gun, he's apparently a Muslim, did a great thing. Honor him as a good man. He did apparently take the gun and then leave it at the tree. I wish he would have kept the gun and continued his job. But, you know, isn't it wild that two men are firing for 20 minutes and the only person who engages them is a civilian?
It's wild. I just looked up. So Sydney, their police force, they've been doing a big DEI push, and approximately 32% of their officers are women. And in America, we're at 10% in full-time roles, women cops. But our goal is by 2030 to have that be at 30%. So we are aiming to be Australia and America.
It's what the major cities are going for.
Yep. So women shouldn't fill any job that a man could fill.
So the jobs, whether it be in combat, whether it be in firefighting, whether it be in other first responding, whether it be in police force, the standards should be set and you should have to meet those standards. And if those standards are lowered to accommodate people, what we are now getting is people who cannot do the job, meaning we are putting in harm's way not only the people doing the job, but the people that they are supposed to protect and preserve.
Yeah.
That is not loving or caring. That is irresponsible, and that is negligence. I mean, you know, if you're in combat and you can't run a certain number of miles and carry a certain weighted pack and engage in hand-to-hand combat, this is, so the most asinine thing I may have ever heard is diversity is our strength.
It's a weakness for sure.
It's a weakness for sure. Like, oh, well, there's a 3-foot guy who weighs 80 pounds. That doesn't make us stronger in a cage fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a guy who can't see. That doesn't make us stronger in a gunfight. There's a gal who, you know, will have a nervous breakdown if we get her pronouns wrong. That doesn't make us stronger in a cultural fight. It's lunacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was interesting. I'm forgetting who talked about it, but talking about DEI and stuff. There's zero women that want to go be a coal miner or a bricklayer. Those are very hard jobs, and they're 99% male. But we want DEI in all these very public roles. And it was interesting. Netflix just came out with some coal mining show where there's the woman coal miner is the hero, and it's like, that's never going to happen. That's just not it. Women are great at a lot of things men could never do. They are singularly gifted at something men will never be capable of.
Zero of us were born to a man.
Uh-huh.
They have a unique superpower.
They do have a superpower, and they should enjoy it. And live into that gifting and calling, because it's incredible. To be able to produce life is insane to a man. We can just work hard.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
But this is where, to me, it's like you go from the theoretical to the practical. And the theoretical is we would like to have a very diverse police force. The practical is a father-son jihadi team are shooting for 20 minutes and somebody needs to stop them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, nobody did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for 20 minutes, I don't know about you. Like if this was a church service with a baptismal and I'm stuck on an open beach, I'm not thinking diversity is our strength.
No.
I'm
thinking everyone should own a gun.
Strength.
Good men should own guns, and good men should get involved.
Yeah, and I would say too, just for pastors and faith leaders, we've really got to start to rethink public events.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done public baptisms at public parks and beaches, and I've done outdoor rallies and evangelistic events and crusades and such. And I think it's really time to rethink all of that. It's very, very sad, but we saw Charlie Kirk shot in a public place. We now see the Jewish celebration of Hanukkah turn into a mass murder. It's sad when your faith can't be public, but when it jeopardizes the safety of the people who are participating, you really got to start to think about being indoors, security checkpoints. I think it was even Ben Shapiro, after Charlie was shot, said, I think I'm going to do any more outdoor events. Rather, we're going to bring it inside with security checkpoints. And so, I would just encourage faith leaders, start thinking about security and outdoor events, though we should have the freedom to do them.
Mm-hmm.
Is the reward worth the risk?
Yep. 100%. And John Lovell would call that, he's a good friend of yours, it's a soft target. And we need to not let our flock be a soft target, because we're called to be pastors and shepherds protecting our flock. And if people want to make an example of our flock, we can't do that. We need to protect our flock, because it feels like these things are going to happen more and more. And the end zone of Islam is to terrify, destroy, and take over.
Jihadi Islam is not a religion of proposition. It's a religion of imposition.
Yep.
It's convert or die.
Yep.
And those who don't understand that. And so again, you can be a Muslim and come into the country, but you can't be a jihadist and come into the country. And so here you saw a jihadi and a Muslim who is willing to be a citizen, and a jihadi who is ill-intended to destroy the very fabric of the nation of which they are a part. And so you've got to, even in your immigration, you've got to distinguish those two. Thanks for watching this video. It's a great honor to help you learn the Bible. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I promise you there'll be more to come.